So we're shooting on the Sony A7C today, as always. I've got the 24mm lens on. Usually I stick to my 35, but I actually haven't shot with the 24 too much lately. And I've already gone through here and shot some photos with the 35, so getting something a little bit wider would be pretty nice. But the leaves are absolutely beautiful now. Old Salem during the fall always looks incredible. So I'm excited to get out and shoot some things that, I didn't get around to shooting here last time. Old Salem's usually very busy this time of year. I usually try to only photograph houses without any cars in front of them because, let me show you guys this. See, it just doesn't look right, you know? You know, I've lived over here in this area for over a year now. Lived here once in my whole life. I never knew this path was here. Never knew. It's actually really nice, the symmetry with the trees. There's a graveyard on one side, but the graveyard's actually really aesthetic, although personally I don't like photographing graveyards for respect purposes, I guess. So, as you've seen in the title of this video, I am going full-time with my photography. Maybe some of you don't know, but I had a part-time job there for a while. I was working there maybe 1-2 days a week, not too much for the past 6 months to a year, but I put in my 2 weeks. I gotta say, I've had some pretty good business opportunities happen recently. I haven't been posting that many videos because I've been really busy with client work, but I have finally decided to make the jump. My job had started to become more of an inconvenience to me, and then me not being able to come to work as an inconvenience to them, so I just felt bad. And I'm sure for those of you that have also, quit your job and decided to pursue photography or video or whatever it is full-time, it's actually kind of scary at first because you don't have a guaranteed paycheck. You might not know when your next gig is. You might have a gig lined up for a year from now, and the money can be kind of uncertain sometimes, but sometimes you just have to take that risk. If you wait until you're 100% ready, you never know, that time might not come. So when I had that feeling, that first thought that like, oh, I think I can do this. I think I'm ready to actually pursue photography and video full-time, whether that's through YouTube or some other business opportunities like I mentioned that I'm not quite ready to talk about yet, but I can't wait to share more about those in the future. But yeah, I put in my 2-week notice yesterday, and I'm excited to have more time to focus on YouTube and going out and taking more photos, which is probably the most exciting part for me, because as of lately, I've had so much client work, I just either haven't had the time or the motivation to go out and take photos, let alone make these kinds of videos, which are my favorite videos to make. So I have maybe an hour to an hour and a half of decent light left. So let's see what we can get in that time. Hey, little guy. Hey. Can I take a photo of you? For those of you who don't know, I am definitely a cat person. These statues of dogs, and well, I guess that's a lion. There's another dog up there. They're kind of interesting. Not really sure what the purpose of them is, but they're cool. This old building's actually kind of creepy looking. Kind of looks like a haunted mansion or something. But I think framing the photo kind of lower to the ground and shooting upwards at it kind of makes it look a little bit more creepy or haunted. Or maybe not. I don't know. I didn't really want to bore you guys and take all of the same photos that I took last time I made a video here, but I wanted to kind of come in from the other side and see what's on that side, since my video last time got cut short because it started pouring rain. But I will say, Old Salem definitely looks a lot better this time of year. The leaves look absolutely beautiful here. Obviously this place is very old, and for some reason it makes me think of, you know, fall. It makes me think of Thanksgiving, or maybe something to do with the Pilgrims. I don't know, but it's a really cool place. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going full-time with my photography. To some people, this might not be too big of a deal, but to me, it's a really big deal. It's been a long time coming, a long time coming. Going back to the topic of this video about going full-time with my photography and video production, I have to say I'm very lucky to be in a point that I'm at to be able to do this, because it's not easy to go full-time in a creative field, especially photography, without being a wedding photographer or something along that line. So I'm very thankful for the position I'm in to be able to do this. Like I mentioned, I have some really cool business opportunities that have come up that have kind of made this possible. And I'm not ready to talk about those yet, but I will hopefully be able to soon, and maybe even be able to bring you guys along and film some of it, and be able to make videos about that. And I didn't really start making a lot of money in photography until I started doing video production, which I think was a very natural progression for me as a photographer to move on to video production. And I think I've found a very nice balance in my photography and keeping photography as almost a hobby rather than a job. and then doing video work for money on the side. And I'm not talking about doing YouTube, although while I do have a small YouTube channel, I do generate a little bit of revenue from it, which is actually pretty nice. It's enough to pay my rent, which is really, really cool. So when I'm able to talk about it more, I would love to share more about how I've gotten to where I have as a photographer, because I realized on this channel, I've never really talked much personally about my career as a photographer. So I would love to do that in the future, especially now that I'm going full time. I'm gonna try my best to make videos every week. If I miss a week, I'm sorry. It's probably because I'm busy with client work. If you're thinking about going full time with your photography, it's definitely good to wait until you're at a semi-comfortable place where you have a pretty decent amount of clients, or you work with enough people, enough businesses. I just wanted to make this video because this is kind of the start of a new chapter in my life. I don't know about you guys, but I was talking to my wife about it the other day, and I kind of tend to associate certain chapters of my life with jobs that I've had. Like previous jobs where I'd be there for 2-3 years, I look at that as a chapter of my life. And I now look at my previous job as a chapter of my life. While I still have 2 weeks left, it feels like that next chapter is beginning right now. And I'm really excited to see where it takes me. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to help support me so I can continue growing and reaching a larger audience. And I hope I could inspire you guys to get out and take more photos as well. Go out and shoot.